Hello Year 2s, today is Tuesday the 2nd of March. Welcome back. I hope you had a good day of home learning yesterday. I am going to be taking you through your maths learning for today, so I'm going to share my screen with you so that we can get started. Today we're going to carry on describing 3D shapes, but before we do that, we need to recap some of the 3D shapes we looked at yesterday and how many faces they have. So thank you to all those of you who sent in your work from yesterday. So I'm going to point at a shape. I want you to call out to the screen the name of the shape, and then we'll look at how many faces and the shape of those faces. So tell me, what is the name of this shape? Well done if you said a cone. It is a cone, and a cone has a circular face and a curved surface. What about this shape? Call out the name of the shape. It is a cube, and a cube has 6 square faces. What about this shape? Well done if you said cuboid. A cuboid has 6 faces, much like a cube, but unlike a cube, its faces are rectangular. On some cuboids, you might find that it has 4 rectangular faces, and the 2 faces that are on either side might be square, depending on the dimensions of the cuboid. Name this shape for me. It is a square-based pyramid, well done. And a square-based pyramid has a square face at the bottom, and then it has 4 triangular faces. What about this shape? Remember Mrs. Gold's favourite chocolate bar, her Toblerone. Yes, it's a triangular prism, and a triangular prism has 2 triangular faces and 3 rectangular faces. What about this shape here? Call out the name to the screen. It's a sphere, well done, and a sphere has a continuous surface, curved surface. Last but not least, what is this shape here? It is a cylinder, and a cylinder has 2 circular faces and a curved surface. Well done if you were able to name all those shapes and describe them using the faces. So good job. The more we practice naming 3D shapes, the better we will get at it. So keep looking at the shape map that we've sent home for you so that you can familiarize yourselves with those shapes. Now today our learning intention is I can count edges on a 3D shape. So yesterday we were describing a 3D shape by looking at the faces. Today we are going to be describing the shapes looking at the edges. And the edge is this part of the 3D shape. And an edge is where 2 flat faces or a flat face and a curved surface meet. So here is an example of edges on a cube. You see I'm drawing all the edges. Obviously there'll be some that you can't see on this picture, which is why it's really important to try and have the shapes in front of you. So that's what we're going to be practicing today. We're going to be practicing counting the edges on 3D shapes. So much like yesterday, I've got some shapes here, and hopefully you have got the shapes in front of you. And in a minute, I'm going to ask you to put me on pause so that you can have a go at counting the edges on these shapes. So let's just read the problem and then you can go and have a go at solving it. So it says, look at these 3D shapes. How many edges does each shape have? Let's name our shapes. We've got our triangular prism, our cube, our square-based pyramid, and our cone. So remember, the edges are where the 2 flat faces meet or where a curved surface and a face meet. So have a go at that problem and then come back to me. Welcome back. hopefully you've had an opportunity to count the edges on those shapes. And a little bit like yesterday, where I gave you my top tip about how to count the faces, it's also a good idea to mark the edges somehow so that you don't count the same edge twice. So we're going to go through these one at a time. So I've got my image here of my triangular prism. So let's count the edges together. So we've got 1 across the top, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it has 9 edges. Let's have a look at our square-based pyramid. 1 edge, 2 edges, 3 edges, 4 edges, 5 edges, 6 edges, 7 edges, 8 edges. Well done if you were able to get that. Let's have a look at our cube. 1 edge, 2 edges, 3 edges, 4 edges, 5 edges, 6 edges, 7 edges, 8 edges, 9 edges, 10 edges, 11 edges, 12 edges. So cube has 12 edges. And our last shape, our cone, has got 1 edge where the circular face meets the curved surface. So if I was going to be writing this down, I would say it had the square-based pyramid has, can you remember? 8 edges, well done. The cube has 12 edges. And the cone has 1 edge. Well done if you were able to find the edges on those shapes. Let's now have a look at this problem. Ron has been sorting some 3D shapes. This problem has been sent out to you, but also it's on the screen, so you can do it on the screen with me by just popping the screen on pause and then having a go at it. So it says, Ron has sorted these shapes according to the number of edges. Which shape is in the wrong place? Explain why. So his sorting criteria is in this hoop, he's got shapes which have 1 edge. In this hoop, he's got shapes that have got more than 1 edge. Okay, so pop me on pause and have a go at this problem. Welcome back. Well, let's have a look and see what Ron has done. So we've got our cone here, and our cone, as we know, has got 1 edge at the bottom where the circular face joins to the curved surface. So that's right, isn't it? It has got 1 edge. What about our sphere? Does a sphere have any edges? No, it doesn't. A sphere has no edges, so that is in the wrong place. So where would we put our football? Has it got 1 edge? No. Has it got more than 1 edge? No. So the football would actually go outside the sorting circles. So there's my football, not very good football there, but imagine that's my football. So that would go there because it doesn't fit in any of those sorting circles. Let's have a look at the die. Does the die have more than 1 edge? Well, yes, because it's a cube, and we've already found out a cube has 12 edges. That is more than 1. What about our cylinder? Well, a cylinder has got 1 edge at the top there and 1 edge at the bottom there. So it has 2 edges. So again, Ron is right there. So the mistake that Ron made was the sphere. The sphere doesn't fit in any of those sorting circles. So your independent task today is to try and complete this table. So you've been given 3 shapes in the table and then 1 shape outside of the table. So the first shape here, you've got to name the shape, you've got to count the number of edges, and then recap from yesterday how many faces it has got. Then look at the second shape, name it, how many edges has it got, and recap how many faces it has. And the third shape, name it, how many edges does it have, and recap how many faces it has. And then the last question is to answer how many edges does this shape have. Okay, so that's your independent task for today. There is then an extra challenge. You have got 2 3D shapes here. It says compare these 3D shapes. Tell us what is the same and what is different about them. Can you tell us what these shapes are called? And then can you make a list of everyday objects that are this shape? So have fun with that, and we look forward to seeing all your maths work from today, and I will see you tomorrow for more work on 3D shapes. Have a good day, take care, bye-bye.